This power, it's meant for women. And women alone. And when you touch it, you make it filthy.
What's up with it, YouTube? Listen, shout out to everybody who been tuning in to you, boy. I really appreciate y'all. Listen, for all of y'all who done fell into the wheel of time and didn't know nothing about it before y'all started watching it, or y'all came across my video on YouTube talking about it, y'all like, what's this? What's this? Let me explain a little bit to y'all. Now, I ain't gonna spoil too much for you. I ain't gonna spoil nothing for you. If you don't want to hear nothing at all, go on and step away. But if you're curious about why the world is the way it is, why the women are so against men having power, why they so fearful of Randall Thor, let me explain it to you. Listen, when people find out that I'm a major Lord of the Rings fan, they instantly think of things like Harry Potter and this and that, this and that. No. Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and Harry Potter, those are nothing alike. Nothing alike. The Wheel of Time got a little bit more Harry Potter in it now. Listen, let me tell you why. Because in Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, there's not that much magic that happens in it. If you think about it, what did Frodo do with the ring? Not nothing much of at all. You seen Gandalf do a couple of little things and Saruman, but not a lot of magic in Game of Thrones. Even though there's powers going on in the background. I mean, in Lord of the Rings. Same for Game of Thrones. Even though you see Melisandre, create fire and make the fire bigger, and she made a little shadow, there's not a lot of magic going on in Game of Thrones other than those dragons flying around and being resurrected. Now, in the Wheel of Time, you got full-on a sorceress or the Apprentice Stone or whatever it is, a full-on sorceress war. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got. You got a lot of battles and a lot of grown-up stuff going on in the Wheel of Time as well. But there's a lot of magic and there's a push and a pull, a tug of war. You know what I'm saying? As you can say. But anyway, let me explain why it is this way. A long time ago, in a different age, the Wheel of Time, you got to think of it like Eastern mythology, the Mayan calendar, quatrains. If you ever know anything about that, it's about cycles and a wheel or the same things happening over and over again, ever so hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? Similar things keep happening. That's the Wheel of Time with these generations. So a long time ago, the world was more like our world. It was much more scientific. You know what I'm saying? There was a little power there, it was much more scientific. But anyway, the man and the woman half are two halves of, the one power. The men have Saidin, the women have what's called Saidar. It's two different things. A woman can't teach a man how to use his, and a man can't teach a woman how to use hers. Kind of like in the real world, because a woman can't make no man. I'm telling you. Anyway, let me get back to it. Anyway, they found this vault, where this power was hidden at. You know what I'm saying? This power of the dark one was hidden at, like their version of Satan. All these universes have their own version of Satan. They didn't know it. They just saw it as a new avenue for energy and power that the men and the women could take advantage of it. And they found a way to bore into it. And when they bored into it, the dark energy started coming out and he started manipulating things. Before, they had no sickness, no wars, there was no animosity. Afterwards, you start getting plagues and blights and famines and, different creatures and monsters, killers, different stuff started happening. And then he started turning certain people to the dark side. Now, a lot of these was Randall Thor's previous life's version's friends. They went to the dark side. All of them, just like Lanfear, his lover. They went to the dark side for whatever reason. They wanted to be kings, queens. They wanted some type more power, wealth. They wanted something. So they fell to the dark side. They became the Sith. You know what I'm saying? They became Darth Vader or Darth Sidious. You know what I'm saying? And Randall Thor, as Lews Therin, on the side of the good, they decided to fight back against them. It's one problem. These people had never known war. They had never known battle. So they didn't know how to fight back at first. So a lot of people in the world got wiped out. They got destroyed. Anyway, they mounted up armies to fight back against the Dark Ones and the ones that went to the dark side who became what's known as Dreadlords. They were servants of the Dark One or Shaitan or the devil or whatever, because they wanted to free him so he could come all the way into this earth and give them whatever their heart's desires were. Lews Therin and a group of men came up with a plan to stop it and seal up the Dark One inside this boar once again. And the women had their own version of the plan, but nobody could agree on what to do. Now, when Lews Therin or Randall Thor in a past life said, this is what we gonna do, this is what we gonna go with, this is our last chance to go ahead and defeat him and save the world, the women was like, nah, that's too risky. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know if I want a man telling me what to do. So they didn't help out. They didn't go. So all the men went to battle in the last major battle. And Lews Therin and his group of men, they got together, formed a circle, used their power, whatever. They was able to seal the boy up and close off the Dark One from this world. There's one problem. He said, you know what, y'all got me, but I'm going to leave y'all with a little something, something. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to leave y'all with a little something. Basically, he left them with corruption. He basically poisoned the male side of the One Power. He tainted them that they would all go mad eventually and destroy everybody around them, everything around them, and themselves. Lews Therin, matter of fact, Lews Therin blew himself up and caused the big old mountain or the volcano that's right behind the White Tower where the Aes Sedai are. You know what I'm saying? But many of the men did so much destruction and chaos on the world that they literally reshaped the planet. And the women who wasn't involved, the female side, the Saidar, was never tainted. So the women was left to go and contain all the men that went crazy. They had to go and, you know, kill those men. So ever since then, it has been a law or a rule that if a man is ever found to have the One Power, they have to either steal him, which is basically neuter him from being able to access the One Power, or they have to kill him. You know what I'm saying? He has to be in prison. He has to be shut down. He has to be stopped because he's a danger to himself. He's a danger to the community and the world. But at the same time, there's also this prophecy that the dragon will be reborn, that Lews Therin will come back. So while they are waiting on who Randall Thor just so happens to be, they don't know whether he gonna come back and destroy the world or save the world. Because for 3,000 years, women have been stopping men from using the One Power at all. And every time the men use them, they go crazy. So that's why they fear Randall Thor. That's why some, or like Maureen, is choosing to help him, but also struggling with whether he'll be good or bad. And you know, you got the red eyes out who really want him dead. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, that's the difference between Saidar and Saidin. You know what I'm saying? The male half and the female half of the One Power. You know, one is more aggressive and one is more subtle. You know, just like men and women. One is more passive and one is more like the male side. They say it's something that you have to wrestle with. You have to battle with. Something that's fighting you. You have to struggle to control and contain. The female side, you have to let go and give in. You have to be submissive. Oh, hey man, keep tuning in to your boy, man. I'm gonna give you more tidbits about the Wheel of Time world. I think my next video I might explain the Trollocs and the Murderer, the eyeless ones that come around. I might do that video next, but I had to hit y'all with this. I decided I want to do some Wheel of Time videos without spoiling the end of the story. Junior.